Welcome to the next part of story time where I'm reading Killer Energy. I'm going to end it at the end of Feb, so I'm going to read 20 pages per week. So it's going to be one video a week. So that takes us until the end of the book. So 20 pages. So I'm going to read about 5 pages today, 5 tomorrow, 5 the next day, 5 the next day. Edit, upload. And that's what my plan is. And if I read more, then I'd upload it earlier. I know I might finish earlier, but... So, I'm on page 66 of this book. So here goes. A good servant never offers an opinion, but I must add a word of my own, sir. I wish this substance had never been found. It's like an evil genie making men cruel and selfish and greedy, so that they trick one another and tell lies. What's that? How can I prove what I say is true? The woman looked troubled. I'm only a poor servant woman. I have only my word and this. And look at the picture. Let's find out what the picture is of. She opened a big bag and slowly drew out small flask. So that's the flask. Continued a powder that shone with ghostly glow of green fire. Now I'm reading this bit, this square. Bet you never knew. 1. When phosphorus atoms combine with oxygen in the air, the atoms give out their stored energy in the form of light. Although phosphorus is poisonous, it was made into pills to cure stomach and lung disease. The pills were useless and the people who ate them felt sick and began to glow in the dark. How are you feeling after taking that phosphorus pill? A little light-headed because he's glowing in the dark. 2. In 1890, a girl was smeared with phosphorus so that she could pretend to be a ghost during a seance, a gathering where ghosts are supposed to appear. So you will see it in like movies and stuff where they're around a table, hand together, and the main woman or man or whatever will be, if there's any ghost around, please appear and stuff. I don't believe in that stuff, but some people do. If you do, that you, fair enough. I don't care. Just don't make me believe in it. If you believe, you believe. I don't. So, who cares? The poison killed the girl, so perhaps she became a genuine ghost. Sorry. Today, few European and American use candles and open fires. Mind you, it's rumored that in power cuts, mean-spirited teachers wrap themselves in woolly scarves and teach by the light of candles. Anything to avoid sending their pupils home. They don't want to send the kids home. Muffled drone shiver. So they're in a classroom, they got a power cut that when all the lights and everything goes off, they're getting cold, the teacher's trying everything to not let the kids go home. But mostly we rely on gas or electricity produced from coal, gas or oil. Now I expect you're keen to find out about these vital forms of energy. So we invited an expert to answer your questions. Horrible Science Question Time with Bernard Boyle of the Energy Department. Woo! I'm here to explain about fuel. You're here to give us the fuel fact. So we're done about these two pictures now. Yes, won't leave anything out. 100 years ago, the main type of fuel was coal. This is a fossil fuel. What's a fossil fuel? The pictures there. Now we're on to these pictures. I'm going to show you them a few times while I read, so don't worry if you didn't see them properly. Was it made out of dinosaur bones? No, but a fossil fuel is made of ancient living things. Coal made from giant plants that slowly rotted in swamps. 275 million years ago, I brought some to show you. That's cool. Yes, I know it's coal. Why it's black? Over time, most of the plants rotted and what's left is mainly black carbon. Oops. Oil and gas are fossil fuels too. They made from the rotting remains of tiny sea creatures that sank to the seabed hundreds of millions of years ago. Germ turned some of the remains into gas and some into oil. So my dad got sea creatures in his car? Sounds fishy to me. Does your cookery teacher cook on gas? I don't know. We've never tried to cook her. So with those pictures. All fossil fuels burn well in power stations that burn to release heat energy to heat water and make steam. So black. Does it boil? It's Professor Boyle to you. Oh, you mean the water? Yes. The steam turns the blades of a turbine round. The turbine turns a powerful magnet and makes an electric current. So, steam, turbines, and magnet. The problem is that the fossil fuels, and especially oil, will be running out by the 2060s. Did you say oil will be running out? No, I'll be here for another 2 hours. Groan. Bet you never knew. When it pumped out of the ground by an oil rig, oil is a disgusting thick green-black slime called crude oil. Crude oil full of chemicals such as paraffins and petrol and butane used to fuel camping stoves. In the 1860s, rock oil, a mixture including petrol, was sold as a medicine for toothache and corns. Yes, thanks goodness you don't have to drink that. I'm reading this page now. Killer expressions. I'm a rhinoanalysis. Do you say? And I'm an expert stencher. Whoa, I like rhinos too, but your friend sounds a real stinker. So that picture. Answer. Don't you dare. The killer scientist might attack you. A rhinoanalysis studies smells in cooking gas. The actual gas doesn't smell, so smelly sulfur chemicals are added to the gas to make it pong, so that people notice if they leave their gas taps on. This is called stenching. Niche again. Although gas is often removed from rocks where their oil are cooking, and lighting gas can also be made from coal. And I bet you never knew that. This fact was discovered by an ingenious inventor with a terrible taste in hats. People don't like your hats. Hall of Fame, William Murdoch, 1754 to 1839. Nationality, Scottish. Mr. Murdoch was furious. Great dafty, looky what you done to me best china teapot. What have you done to my best china teapot? It ruined, you great mucklump. It may good new. You nae sense, though ye be ma and ladle. I'm going to show you that because I could not read it. So if you can read it, brilliant, but I couldn't. Give you a few more seconds. Mr. Murdoch probably used other words that were too rude to repeat in respectable books like this. Basically, rude words I didn't want kids to know. And if you're a teenager, you know what words. And if you not, I'm not going to tell you them. You find out when you're older. Rude to repeat in respectable books like this. Young William bowed his head and was just mumbling something about science experiment when the teapot whisked past his ear and smashed to pieces on the black iron stove behind him. So that picture. But he had actually made an vital discovery by heating coal, yes, in his mum's teapot. Not good, eating mum's. Terrible. He had found out that you can make a gas that burns to produce heat and light energy. But then William always was a practical lad. Already he had built his own tricycle out of wood to get to school on time. This was surprising because 1. He was keen to get to school. 2. The bicycle hadn't been invented yet. So how could he invent it when it wasn't even invented? No, sorry, I'm late, sir. Flat tire? No, sir, woodworm. So That was the picture of his bike. When William was 23, he heard about a factory in England where they made the most powerful steam engines in the world. He was so excited that he walked hundreds of kilometers to the Soho Works in Birmingham to ask for a job. The boss, Matthew Bolton, was about to show William the door when the young man hat fell off. It hit the floor with a solid clunk, as well as it might, since it made out of wood. Yes, the hat was one of William's inventions, and it proved the lad was no wooden head. Couldn't get my word out there. For the rest of his life, William worked for Matthew Bolton and his partner, Scottish steam engine inventor James Watt. From 1736 to 1819, he repaired steam engines all over the country, but still found time to invent a steam-powered carriage and a method of using fish skins to remove cloudiness from beer. If you're that into home brew, this could spell doom for your pet goldfish. The rat. This beer looks cloudy. There's that picture. William developed his coal gas idea. He began by heating coal in a tank and pumping it round pipes where the gas could be lit from special gas taps. First, William lit the cottage in Cornwall where he was working, and then the Soho Works. Bolton was delighted by the discovery, but he stopped William patenting his idea. Eventually, other people copied him, and he made no money from it. So now later to sort of patent it. A patent is where an inventor of an item or someone who designs a piece of clothing or something, put it down on paper in very descriptive writing, send it off to some office somewhere, depending on where you live, and they get the pattern. And if anybody copies that pattern, they had to ask you and pay you to do it, so you can make loads of money from it. Starbucks would be patented if they wanted to. So they can make extra money from people copying them. But if you don't do that, you lose loads of money. People can just make them. So back to the story. I think I'm going to leave it there for today, and I'll read the rest in like a few seconds for you, but probably a few days for me because of how slow I am with reading. So stay tuned. Give me a second, I'm going to find the page we were on. Here it is. Found the page we were on. Page 73. The fuel crisis starts to bite. Remember what Bernard Boyle was saying about fossil fuels running out? You may have heard people talking about it. There's enough coal underground to keep us warm and cozy until 2160, but by the 2000, oil gas were running out in a hurry, and the world were guzzling them like they were going out of fashion. For some scientists, the answer was to think small. I mean very, very small. Killer energy fact file. I'm going to read from here. Name: nuclear power. The vital details. 1. Remember the atoms on page 28. So that would have been a few episodes back. Can't remember which one. But if you're listening to this in order, you'll probably remember. Here's a quick reminder if you don't. So that's good that I got the quick reminder, but then I don't have to look up which episode it was. Atoms are held together by enormous force. But this means that if the atoms are torn apart, the energy of these forces are releases together with deadly high energy radioactive rays that can kill, blistering the skin and destroying the lining of your gut. That's not good. I'm not an atom. But in real life, it's tiny. You won't be able to see it, it's so small. But when you talk about it, that's what they're talking about. 2. 1 kg of uranium atoms produce enough energy to lift 200 million elephants 1 meter in the air. That's a lot. We're here for the uranium experiment. This way. There's elephant there to be lifted. Now we're on this bit. 3. In nuclear power stations, the heat energy made by splitting atoms boil water to steam that drives turbines to make electricity, to make stuff to turn on your light bulb, your oven, your fridge, to charge your iPad, to charge your phone, some cars, stuff like that. Killer details. 1. At 3 Mile Island in the USA in 1979 and Chernobyl in the Ukraine in 1986. That's where the big elephant ear is. If you hear people talking about Ukraine, they might talk about the elephant's ear, and that's where there's a really big pile of the problem, nuclear thingy. So that's where the problem is at the moment. So it's going all over the place. Power station went out of control and released radioactive gas. 2. The power station creates radioactive waste that can stay dangerous for 10,000 of years. So that's why we still can't go to Chernobyl. Because the problem is the radioactive, it's too radioactive. So, and it's deadly. If you go there, you have to wear a load of costumes that they give you with gas masks and yellow suits. And you have to take like a guided counter. It's like a small iPad type thing that goes off when it gets really radioactive. So it beeps, and the more it beeps, the more radioactive it is. And the louder it beeps, the more radioactive it is. And I never recommend people to go there. And the only way that you can go there through a tour, but you're only there for like 2 minutes. So it's not really worth it. You'll probably see one thing, then you're out. Because they don't want you to get too radioactive. So, yeah. Spot the power quiz. Some unusual materials have been used to make power. Have you the brain power to spot the fuel that no one ever tried? And I'm going to finish it here after I told you the things. And I hope you enjoyed. So, what is the fuel no one tried yet? Is it 1, dead cows? 2, waste cooking oil from chip shops? 3, rotten eggs, really smelly rotten eggs? Or is it 4, used nappies? Which one is the one that no one ever used before? Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Comment below. And I hope you enjoyed this part of the story. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye!